Hi everyone, it's back, the return of the 5 minute makes series. So I'm going to create a card in no more than 5 minutes. I'm going to do it all in real time with you as well, so you can follow along if you need that super fast card at any time. Now this is using limited supplies only, so grab some pens or some inks and some cardstock and let's get crafting. Now for this you can either use your water-based inks or you can use water-based pens. I prefer pens for this because it is much quicker. So I'm going to just draw on an acrylic block. Now lots of us have old acrylic blocks from stamping. Some of us still prefer to use these rather than a stamping platform. Doesn't matter. Grab one. You're going to be able to wipe it clean anyway, so don't worry about any mess. And I'm going to just colour on some stripes with my pens. These are going to be in a nice bright rainbow colour. You can do absolutely any colours you want. So I like to do, like I say, rainbows, but if you're doing something that's grungy, you could just do blues and greens, for example. It's entirely dependent on the situation and, of course, the occasion that you're crafting for. So a few swipes across either way. I'm going to go into my blues now, and then I'll bring that into a purple as well. I know my purple's quite a dark colour, so I don't want to put too much of that on there. So I've got a rainbow of colours on my acrylic block. Now I've got a piece of watercolour cardstock, and that is on a rubber mat. The rubber mat isn't really necessary. I prefer it because I can really squish into it then. But if you've got something like a piece of foam, that will work equally as well. Then I've got a little bit of water. I'm just going to spritz a bit of water over this. Not a lot. You'll be surprised at how far a little goes. And you'll start to see, as long as they are water-based pens, that ink will start to pool and move on your block. So I'm quickly now going to flip this over and press it into my cardstock. So I've got that beautiful rainbow ink transferring. Now, if you've got not enough water on there, what you'll find, if I hold this up against the light, you'll get some patches that are missing. You can absolutely go back in. See, all my ink has gone there. So I can just go back into a couple of areas and put a little bit more ink on. Now you don't, of course, have to do this if you've put enough water on, but it is a little bit of a guessing game. So have a play with it and see. If you need more, by all means, do more. It's not an issue. It doesn't take very long. Let's just do a line of blue up there. And then again, where's my purple there? Just purple there. Okay. So again, spritz of water, a little bit more this time. Try and fill in those gaps. I've obviously kept the lines, the colours similar to last time, and press this down again. Now, when you lift that up, you should get a bit of a suction. So if you can suction that up and press on the back, that often helps. Now, what you notice is the ink is all remaining within the square, which is brilliant. So we have got a rainbow watercolor pattern on our background. Now you can keep doing that until it's filled, but I quite like that distressed look, to be honest. What you can also do, and you can do it now or you can do it a little bit later, is just spritz a little bit of one of the inks or two of the inks onto your block. So you've got a nice watery colour, and you can flick a few extras too. Next, you want to take a sentiment die. I've got the word hello. This actually fits perfectly inside my square. It doesn't matter if it extends out a little bit, but I'm just going to tack that very lightly down onto my cardstock and run this all through my die cutting machine. Now what you want to do when you take it out is just be aware that you're going to have a few pieces inside some of the letters that you'll want to replace back in. So for example, inside the L's, the E, the curve of the H and the middle of the O there, I've got some pieces that I want to keep, but these are colour coordinated with your background, so you're easily going to be able to see where they go. So take yourself a card base. This is going to go over the top. Now if you like that drop shadow look, you can use foam tape to adhere this on. I do, so I'm going to use this. And I quite like the look of it as a silhouette without the pieces put back in. Depends really exactly how strapped for time you are, but I'm going to today pop those pieces back in a moment. I'm not going to raise them up on foam pads though. I'm just going to put them down into the background with some tweezers. So this is already cut to size to the shape and size of my card base. There we go. So pop that on in the centre there. And now I can carefully take out the pieces. Now the best way to do this is to take a little bit of glue, something that's got a fine precision nib on it, and pop yourself some glue where you're going to need it for the pieces that need to go back in. So just making sure I'm getting these in the right place. A little bit here and a little bit here. Okay, so once I've got my glue down, I can take my pokey tool, lay my sentiment back in to where I've just die cut it from, and just pop through those pieces that you want to keep. So that's these pieces out of the O, out of the L, pressing them into the glue that you've just put down. There. And if you gently lift that up, they should all be in place, absolutely perfect. There's a fun rainbow coloured card with that drop shadow look as well from the sentiments. It's one sheet of cardstock on top of your card base, a little bit of ink and a die. So quick and simple. And if you like quick, fast cards like this, there is an entire playlist of 5-minute makes. I've got lots of videos on there already. I'm going to be adding to them weekly as well, so go and take a look at that. I'll make sure that is linked just here for you. And if you've not seen me before, hello, I'd love it if you could subscribe too. Take care everybody, and I'll see you again very soon.